So the War Thunder summer sales are on, and there are quite a few packs that have actually gone on sale for 50% off, and I'm going to be discussing them today. Most of them are for ground vehicles, and I'll be going through a few for air and naval, but primarily I'll be focusing on the ground ones, since that's the area I actually have a lot of experience in. I'm also not going to be covering the starter packs, because the starter packs are all good value, and if you're new to the game, they are very much well worth the $4 that most of them cost. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, starting out, we have the Japanese Pacific Campaign Pack. It is absolutely well worth the money. I would say probably the best value for money you can actually get in the shop outside of the starter packs. For $12.50, you get the A6M5 Co, 15 days premium, 850 Golden Eagles, and also the Japanese Pacific single player campaign. So you actually get a lot of value for $12.50, definitely worth it. The Co itself is an amazing fighter, brilliant in turning, brilliant in dogfighting, just a brilliant all-round fighter, good cannons, good damage, carries a bomb as well. It's a very, very fun anti-CAS plane, which is typically how I fly it because I hate aircraft in ground RB, and being able to knock out every other aircraft in the sky is very fun. Honestly, I take the Co up to 8.3 and it does absolutely fine because for some reason every single player sees a 0 and goes, "Ooh, me turn fight." And you can imagine how well that goes for them. Also, Gaijin is actually removing this from the store at the end of the sales, so this will be your last chance to buy it, so I would highly recommend it. Definitely pick up this pack if you're a very big fan of Japanese aircraft, or if you're looking for some good value. The next aircraft I'll be talking about is the Wyvern. It's a very, very fast super prop at 4.0 currently in the British tech tree. I don't have it myself, but a lot of my friends do, and I've seen them play it, and oh boy, it's a lot of fun. You can dump all your energy in a single turn and outturn most aircraft for sort of like one circle kind of thing. And then you're basically a flying brick, but you can also just outspeed everyone. You've got really good CAS payloads, good 20 mils, 15 days premium, 1000 G for $25. That is an easy buy. Especially if you are going to be playing the British quite a bit. The other aircraft I'm going to be mentioning is the USA Pacific Campaign Pack. You get the YP-38, this thing, and you also get, 15 days premium and 850G, as well as the USA Pacific campaign. For 1250, I would say get it. It is a little bit on the borderline between get it and don't get it for me. The YP-38 I feel has a bit less utility than the Zero does. It's an alright plane. If you're looking for a low tier premium for USA, where you get a bunch of other stuff for a pack, I would say get this. However, you aren't really going to be getting a huge amount of utility outside of its BR range like you can out of the Zero. If you're looking for a collector's item, then this is definitely worth it because it's being removed after the sales, as is the Japanese Pacific Campaign Pack. So pick this up if you want to collect some unique fighters. Alright, that brings us to the end of the aircraft I want to talk about, and first on our list for the vehicles I'm going to be mentioning, the King Tiger pack. When it loads. Yeah, the King Tiger SLA-16. It is essentially just a King Tiger with a better engine, and like 2 more bits of track armor on its turret. If you're looking for a mid-tier premium at a discount with, 1,000 Golden Eagles and 7 days of premium, I would say get it. But you do have to know what you're doing. It's not a very new player friendly vehicle. The majority of people you come up against will know how to kill you. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's a King Tiger with premium bonuses. If you want to fill out your already vast 6.7 lineup with another vehicle, it is definitely pretty good, especially if you're spending quite a bit of time around those tiers. Good for Lions, good for RP. The only downside with it is that you get one in the tech tree anyway. So if you don't really want to grind out the German tech tree to get the King Tiger, then yeah, go for it and buy it. If you're okay grinding for the King Tiger, there's not too much point in buying this pack, honestly. The only difference is that this thing accelerates slightly quicker than the tech tree one. But because you're in a King Tiger, you're not really going to notice that too much. Seeing as it is half price now, this would be the only time I'd actually recommend you to get this pack. If it's full price, just don't. Not worth it. So, moving on to the T-29 for America. Another heavy tank, except this one, instead of having the 152mm gun on the T-34, this one packs the 105. It also has quite a bit of armor on the turret. The only problem is that you're at the same BR as a King Tiger, which can go right through your turret as well as your hull at close range. And if the King Tiger knows what he's doing, he'll be able to kill you pretty easily. In fact, most tanks can actually penetrate your armor. It's not very reliable, unlike the King Tigers, which is decently reliable except for the turrets. This thing just doesn't really have the reliability that the King Tiger does. I would say consider it if you are looking again for a US 6.7 mid rank vehicle. It's not going to be particularly good outside of its BR bracket, as most heavy tanks are, unfortunately, but you will still put the 7 days of premium and the 1000 GE to good use. The IS-6. I don't think I need to introduce this thing. It's the bane of any 7.0 players that aren't the Soviet Union. It's insane. It's absolutely worth the $32.50 that you'll need to pay for this. It's just, yeah, there's nothing more I can say. It's ridiculous. Its armor is actually reliable unless you come up against a heat slinger, but you can even bounce APDS, you can bounce most AP rounds. APHE, unless volumetric does some funny business, it's just going to bounce right off. It also has a very weird quirk where, let me just rewind the video a tad. Yeah, here we go. So you see that bit of the side armor here? Yeah, that's basically impenetrable. 105 Saber will bounce off that. 105 Heat sometimes will bounce off that. You have to go through the lower side here. Don't shoot here. You can shoot here, that's a bit risky. Very good armor, very reliable survivability. Your gun is a little bit lacking at this BR. You only get 205 mils of pen with your best APHE round, but it is Soviet APHE, so you will essentially be able to lol pin any angled piece of armor. And you'll also just have Soviet bias on your side, so that's also good. Absolutely worth it, highly recommend, very fun, and if you plaster the front with bushes, you're essentially unkillable. The Object 120, another pack that makes me want to tear my hair out. Absolutely worth it, even just for the vehicle itself for 40 bucks. You also get 2,000 Golden Eagles and 15 days of premium. You can invest those Golden Eagles in, I don't know, something. 2K doesn't really buy too much, but you could probably buy, a month worth of premium with that, or even just, a couple of low tier premiums. Very, very, very good vehicle. You essentially get a gun with velocity and penetration found at tanks at, 9397, except you're at 7.3. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's also very fast. You have no armor, but you can get to a really good position and then just lol pin everything with a ridiculously powerful cannon. Brilliant tank, absolutely get it if you're after a broken Soviet premium. Tyrion AVRE, a tank that's a lot of fun if you like the big derp guns, but unless you're looking for a funny meme tank, not really worth it, honestly. You do have quite a bit of armor that can save you from some heat and saber rounds, as well as most solid shot, but you're, again, inconsistent survivability, and you have a big derp gun. Plus, you're firing Hesh, which has been nerfed quite a bit. If you're after a fun tank, get it. But if you're looking for a good grinder, don't, because it's just not really worth it as a grinder. And if you're going to be buying the 15 days premium in 2000 GE, you might as well just pay for those separately. Overall, get it if you're after a fun tank. If you're after a good grinder, don't. You will be tearing your hair out in most situations. Samura SM, a very interesting French tank. 4-second autoloader, pretty reliable armor, and also very fast. It's an absolute menace at 7.3, unless you come up against something Swedish with a heat round or some sort of sabot. For $32.50, it's absolutely worth it. It's a ridiculously potent tank, especially combined with France's 7377 lineup. It will work in full up tiers, you get decent penetration, and also reasonably high damage. Solid shot. I believe off the top of my head it's 272 mils of pen, but that is made up for with the 4-second autoloader. But yeah, the 1000 G and 7 days of premium also go very well with this thing's premium bonuses. It's a very good grinder, absolutely well worth the money. The M51 pack for Israel. It's a Super Sherman. It's a Sherman but with a 90 mil that fires only heat. It's uh it's an interesting vehicle to say the least. If you're looking for an Israeli premium, I'd honestly recommend picking up the Merkava Mark II D instead of this thing, because you just get more utility. This thing loses its utility quite quickly because you'll be progressing past rank 4 for Israel very, very quickly because that's where you start at. And you already get a Super Showman in the tech tree that's just comes stock. So I personally wouldn't buy this because the Super Showman in the tech tree, you get 3 spawns per match with it. And they are functionally identical. This thing just has premium bonuses. You can just buy the premium account separately and you'll get basically the same utility out of this thing as you will with just the regular Tech Tree Super Sherman. I wouldn't recommend this one. Although the Super Shermans are a pretty fun vehicle. The Term 3, one of the most goofiest looking tanks in War Thunder, because somebody decided that a triple axis stabilizer in a tank was a good idea, which isn't even modeled in War Thunder, it just gets a dual axis stabilizer. However, you do also get a 5-second autoloader on the Leopard's 105mm gun, as well as a coaxial 30mm cannon. Combine that with very decent mobility and a quiet engine for some reason, and you get an absolute beast. If my tone and commentary hasn't been a giveaway, this thing is absolutely stupid. I don't have anything more to say. It's dumb. Get it. 40 bucks, 2k GE, 15 days of premium. You can't go wrong with it. It's a great grinder. It'll serve you well for grinding German rank 5. You can even chuck this thing in Germany's 8.3 lineup and it'll be fine. The only downside to this thing is that it is 8.0 and you don't have a very convenient lineup for it. The best lineups you can make are 8.3, 8.7, and 7.7, so unless you want to drag the mouse up to 8.0, you're going to be struggling to make a lineup with this thing. Not that it really needs it, because you can just decimate an entire enemy team on your own if you have more than 3 brain cells active at one time. My average is 2, so I don't do particularly well. But that's still at least half a brain cell more than the average German teammate. This vehicle is absolutely worth the money. Get it if you like being a piece of crap and just want to autocannon things through the front. M728 CEV pack. It wouldn't be a pure assault element pack review video without at least 2 derp gun tanks in it. This thing packs the L9A1 gun. It's a 165mm derp gun slinging, you guessed it, cash. Hooray. Yeah, you get night vision, but you are a moving brick, and you move about as fast as Gaijin makes balancing decisions in this game. That is to say, not very fast. I would avoid this vehicle personally. I think you get much better utility out of the Centurion Mark V AVRE, but this thing can certainly work in some situations. Your speed just really holds you back, and your survivability is extremely inconsistent because you're on the Starship chassis. In fairness, though, you do get 2000 G and 15 days of premium, so for 40 bucks, it's not too bad, especially for a rank 5 vehicle. But then again, its utility is pretty limited, and you will just be much better off with the AVRE, honestly. Alright, now on to Naval. We have the Prince Eugen pack, the absolute bane of every 5.7 Naval player's existence. It's brilliant. It's a great ship. You get a 1200% Lions bonus with premium. For 50 bucks, if you're a naval player who wants to play Germany, absolutely get this thing. As with all packs, only get it if it is on a 50% or more discount because they aren't worth it full price, especially this thing. But oh my god, is it a nightmare to fight. Especially in a full down tier where most ships can't even penetrate your armor, and they'll just be destroying your AA turrets over and over again. 2 kg, a whole month worth of premium. This thing is absolutely insane. And if you've been playing War Thunder for quite a long time and have dabbled in the naval experience, as have I, you'll know that this thing is absolutely bonkers. You get 8 8-inch guns, very good armor, fantastic lines and RP bonus. If you want to cosplay as the US Federal Reserve and start printing money, this is definitely the way to go. And now the final vehicle I'll be giving you my opinion on in this guide, the US Des Moines pack. Basically just a Prince Eugen, but in the American tech tree. So if American ships are your jam, this is the pack for you. You still get 2000 G and 30 days of premium for the same price as the Prince Eugen, and these rank 4 premium ships are absolutely ridiculous. Fantastic Silver Lions and RP multipliers, so if you want to go crash your nation's currency value, go ahead and get printing. Well, that covers it for all the packs that I have any knowledge about. I'm sure there are other channels that will be reviewing the planes like the Dora and the Mustang. I don't have very much experience with them and can't really give my opinion on them as such. I hope you guys found this video useful. As always, only get these packs if they are 50% or more off. They're not really worth it full price, except for maybe the IS-6 and Object 120 would be the only ones that I'd maybe consider at full price, as well as the Japanese Pacific Campaign Pack. Otherwise, simply just get them either now or when the birthday sales roll around in November. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video has been helpful, and as always, stay salty, my lemons.